When Melissa was 14 years old, her father sold her to a crank cook named Possum for 2 pounds of crystal meth and a broken down Trans Am. Possum kept her chained to a rusty wood stove during the day with a mason jar of water and a box of Cheerios, while he worked in the lab back behind the trailer, breaking Sudafed and ephedrine tablet down into glass-like shot of amphetamine. In the evening, Possum would swing open the door, the cat piss stain of burning chemical wafting into the tiny trailer, and unchain her so she could make him meal, wash dishes and mop. At night, as the bullfrogs began to bark and the cricket chirped, she would press her fist into her mouth, trying to stifle her cries of pain as he lay upon her, his rank smell of sweat and chemical overwhelming her. 2 months later, a couple of Boy Scouts found her naked corpses in the drain ditch in a patches of wood outside of Eureka, California. A pale tangle of limbs sticking out of the trashes and sewage of the dirty coward told the case officially went to homicide detective McKinley. Detective Standler had been at the crime scene assisting. Standler had helped take her by the arms and pull her remains up from the rank silver water and debris. As her body rose up from the muck, her head had low to the side and her wide, staring eye had looked straight at him. For a moment, Stadler told he saw a flicker of life register in them. Through her grey, bloated face clearly revealed she was long dead. Stadler settled deeper into the seat of his car and flipped one the battered copy of Hamlet, scrolled down the long list of names he saw scrawled on the last page. What a fucking week suspended and out on bail. Looking at manslaughter charges. He was parked in front of the police chief's suburban home, waiting for the fat fuck to arrive home from work. He eyed the long list and sipped from a pint of white turkey, washes it down with a warm butter swear, and told to himself, someone who could do something like that to a 14-year-old girl. How can you let someone like that live? Who would possibly miss them? Who could possibly care? And nobody missed that piece of shit Possum. 2 weeks paid administrative leave was all Stadler had received after he emptied his service revolver into the sick degenerate face. It had been a big bust, the lab, kilos of meth, and an arsenal of weapons. Everyone in the department was happy, and all he had gotten was 2 weeks paid leave and a wild party at the alibi, thrown by the other detective and a gaggle of uniformed officers. When the inquest asked him why he had gone out there outside his jurisdiction, to that backwood no man's land, he had simply replied that he was following up on a lead from an informant. What was he going to say? That a ghost had told him where to look, that the little dead girl had come back from the grave and told him that's in the dark. Pre-dawn hour, that's twilight time between sick, drunk and excruciatingly hungover. He would awake, legs quiet in sweat, his wife snoring loudly beside him, the room spinning, his heart threatening to break free from his chest, and there she would be, a frail little girl, at the foot of his bed, her stick figure limp, draped in a white nightie, its hemline stained in dark crimson streak. The first time he had seen her, he had screamed, horrified. The raspy noise of his own startled voice burning his dry mouth and throat. His wife awoke and stood straight up in bed. What is that? What is this? Stadler blinked in his alcohol-swollen eyes. Only darkness. The girl was gone. There was nothing. Nothing? Honey? It was nothing. Just go back to sleep. And I just had a nightmare. Kay, honey. His wife had rolled back over and immediately began snoring again. He lay there till the room grew pale in the morning light, his flesh tingling, wondering what he had seen, if he was going insane. The next time the little girl had appeared, he was calmer. He blinked twice quickly, expecting her ghostly form to disappear like last time, but she didn't disappear. She remained there, looking down at him with her cold eyes sunken deep in their dark socket. He started in disbelief. What is real? Could this pale figure possibly be real? That when she had stepped out to him quickly, and her blue lips parted, and she began to speak, to tell him things in a whisper. He thought he could smell the grave on her breath as she murmured in his ear about the night her father had sold her to Possum. It had been a dark night deep in the backwood of southern Humboldt, past the mountain of Adler Point and Brocksburg, in a place that didn't even have a name, near Siena on the Trinity border, where it snowed in the winter and the cold morning found the hill hardened in ice. The sky was black and it was pouring rain. Her father had been drunk and handed her roughly, pulling her by the arm through the muddy front yard. She was terrifying and devastated that her daddy, big Danner, locking boot were splashing mud up all over her dress. Her mother had been dead less than 3 weeks. Her father had shoved her roughly through the front door of Possum trailer. She's all fucking yours. Her father had spat at the old bearded man in greasy overall. Possum had suffered forward and took her cheek into his grizzly. Carlisle's hand squeezing her face tightly, moving her head back and forth for inspection. Oh, she's a pretty one, if you say so, her father said. She's got that weird eyes and those fuck up teeth, but she can cook real good and clean. She damn handy with a broom. Oh yes, the old man chuckled, handing over the sealed bundle of methamphetamine. She's do nicely. And 2 months later she was dead and abandoned, like so much trash. The sick fuck, how could he have let them live? And no one missed Possum, no one mourned him. They had thrown Stadler a party. He had been a hero. That time, the second time was different. That one had gotten him suspended, most likely fired, no pension, no 401k. He might even see sometimes for that one. Stadler, sipping his whiskey, reached out between his legs and lifted up the Beretta, an old pistol. His father had given it to him long ago. He cradled the heavy cold weight of the gun, waiting for his old boss, that fat fuck, to arrive back at his nice suburban home. Maybe his wife would find him dead on their well-manicured front lawn. Maybe one of his teenage kids. Oh well, to have a sick fuck like for a father just deserted. It was a warm night, and he had the window down, the whine of passing truck on 101 softly humming in his ear. He thought of Hamlet. He had taken a Shakespeare class back in college when he was studying criminal law, still entertaining the idea of going on the law school and becoming an attorney. Before Charlotte got pregnant, and he quit school and joined the force so he could start making money for his new family, only to have her give birth to a stillborn boy 7 months later, never to consecrate it again. Hamlet, that tale of a haunted Danish prince, had always stuck with him. Standing atop the castle parapet, the ghost of his father crying out for him to avenge his savage murder. Ghost, my hour is almost come when I, too sulphurous and tormenting flame, must render up myself. Stadler always wondered, was Hamlet insane? But no, that would mean they were all insane. Horatio, Marcellus, Barenido, they had all seen it. They could all be insane. It had to be true. The ghost had to be real. The second time the little girl told Stadler to kill, things hadn't worked out like they had with Possum. My father, she had whispered, kill him. And how couldn't he? Anyone who would do something as sick as sell their own daughter surely deserved to die. She described his car where he would be. The pile of meth Stadler would find in the trunk. The Glock he always kept under his seat. Stadler had waited at the Red Lion Hotel on Broadway, right where the little girl had told him to, and just like clockwork the car had rolled right into the parking lot. Stadler had been amused at the look of surprise of the man's face when he strolled up with his .38 level right at eye level, squeezing around off before the jerk even had a chance to utter a word. But there were no meth in the trunk, no gun under the seat, and it ends up it wasn't her father at all. At least that's what the investigators said. They claimed it was just some businessman from Santa Rosa. But when Melissa appeared before him the next night, shimmering and ghastly in the moonlight, she told him no, it had been her father. They were lying, all of them, lying liars. The little girl had whispered to him with her pale blue lip and graveyard breath. They had tried to hide it. It was a conspiracy, and they had to fire him because the police chief was in on it. That's why police chief was next. He had to go. That's why Stadler sat in his car outside his house, a pistol cranked in his hand. He had to kill his old boss, of that meth-dealing, slave-keeping, degenerate son of a bitch. And there were more. There are many of them, the frail ghost has murmured. His wife was one of them. She had made the list. She was a cheating meth whore, fucking the whole department for crank. The little girl had told him all about it late at night, moment before the morning, when the earth shivered silent and cold and his heart beat so it threatened to leave his chest. Yes, there were many of them, a whole list, and it was a long list.